Snark Squad. Babes, it's Tuesday evening.
And babe, the delusion. Strong.
The wine is chilled. And babes, we are fucking excited to be here.
We need to say something. High-key family drama on TLC is becoming like one of our absolute favorite genres.
Oh my God, yes. Like, babes, you got the Kim Plaths.
See Amber Johnstons.
And the absolute nightmare fuel that is unexpected. Like, this needs to be its own category.
Right, because why is this so addictive?
I am so emotionally invested. Like, it is physically painful for me. I sit on my couch, wrapped in my fluffiest blanket, and I watch these families absolutely implode.
Yeah, it's wild.
I am literally screaming at my television. I am crying into my throw pillows. I am begging these people to go to a single therapy session. I care too much. It's a real problem. I feel it in my nervous system.
And see, I'm just sitting there analyzing the pattern. Like, it is a psychological case study playing out in real time.
Oh, totally. You're taking mental notes.
Exactly. It's the cycle of generational trauma, you know, the fundamentalist repression, the inevitable rebellion. We are watching human psychology unravel in high definition, and honestly, I cannot look away.
No, it's impossible to look away. Dark Squad, welcome back.
Welcome back, babes.
And babes, thank you for the continued support. We love you. Please rate us on Apple, because, babes, it helps other snarkers find us.
Let's be honest. Yes, we are drinking wine.
And, babes, it is just fucking cozy in here. I want you to picture exactly where we are right now because I need you in this headspace with us.
Set the scene for them.
Okay, the overhead lights, absolutely off. Overhead lighting is a corporate punishment. We do not do that here.
Never.
We've got this cheap little sunset lamp projecting this warm, amber, golden hour glow across the living room walls. I am wearing oversized sweatpants that consume my entire physical form.
We are practically swimming in fleas. And the wine glasses, like, these are the Olivia Pope oversized fishbowl wine glasses.
Oh, filled to the brim.
Filled to the absolute brim with the crispiest, coldest Pinot Grigio you have ever seen. It's a safe space for Snark. You are sitting right here on the couch with us. The vibes are immaculate.
We did something on Instagram. We opened up a question box.
And babes, you delivered.
So we are answering some. I wanted the mess, and you gave us the absolute feral mess. Okay, I'm pulling up the first one.
Oh, wow, right for the jugular.
Read it. What does it say?
Question number 1 for me. What's something you've never told your parents?
Oh, start us off strong with the emotional damage. Unpack that for us.
Look, my parents still think I have my life completely together. But what they don't know is that during my sophomore year of college, I completely fabricated an entire relationship with a guy named Chase for 6 months.
Wait, what? 6 whole months?
6 whole months. Just so they wouldn't ask me why I was coming home every weekend to do my laundry. I literally bought a men's hoodie from a thrift store and left it draped over my passenger seat when my mom came to visit.
Stop it right now. I swear. I created an entire human being to avoid a minor confrontation about my inability to use a coin-operated washer.
You invented a decoy boyfriend to cover up your codependency with your childhood washing machine.
Yes, I was anxious.
That is so unhinged, yet incredibly strategic. I actually respect the commitment to the bit.
Thank you. Okay, let me pull the first one for you. Do you have any tattoos? This
is so funny because people always assume I do, but no. Absolutely not. You don't put bumper stickers on a Bentley.
Oh my God, the ego.
I'm kidding. The psychological reality is I have an incredibly low threshold for pain and a severe fear of permanent, unalterable commitment.
Which is very on brand for you.
Right. The idea of putting something on my body that I cannot easily edit or delete later sends me into a mild panic. It's a control issue, honestly.
At least you're self-aware. Okay, question 2 for me. Who is your favorite family member?
Real family or reality TV family?
Well, on reality TV, Mariah and Lydia Plath, obviously. Unproblematic queens.
Absolute queens. We love them.
But in my actual family, my dog. Not even a hesitation.
I bet.
My dog has never gaslit me. My dog has never told me I was overreacting when I caught him eating a shoe. He just looks at me with pure love.
A completely sound choice. Dogs offer secure attachment. Let's see, my second question. Have you ever ghosted someone?
Oh, I know the answer to this, and I want you to be honest with the people.
Absolutely I have. I am the phantom of the dating apps. Listen, if someone gives me a single irredeemable red flag like they chew too loud or they use the wrong there in a text.
Oh, the grammar thing is real for you.
It is. Or if they lack basic media literacy, I am gone.
Oof.
Vaporized.
You just vanish into the night.
It is a clean strategic break. I don't owe a multi-paragraph explanation to a man who thinks the earth is flat or who talks to his mom 5 times a day. Ghosting in certain specific contexts is a boundary. It is self-care.
You are so ruthless. You just detach completely. It's terrifying.
Mm.
Okay, my third one. What's your most toxic trait?
Oh, I am ready for this one.
Oh God, I hate admitting this. I text in paragraphs. If I am upset, I don't just send a text, I send a dissertation.
She really does, babes. It's a lot.
I will give you a thesis statement outlining exactly how you hurt my feelings. I will provide 3 paragraphs of supporting evidence, complete with timestamps of past behaviors.
The timestamps are aggressive.
I cite my emotional sources. I will overwhelm you with data regarding my pain. And if you reply to that wall of text with K, I will block you into the next dimension.
I can verify this. I have been on the receiving end of the paragraphs. They are structurally sound, but emotionally daunting.
I just want to be understood.
It's an anxious attachment style manifesting as extreme overcommunication. You feel like if you just explain yourself perfectly, the other person will finally understand and validate you.
So banalizing me, it's too accurate. What's your third question?
Okay, what is the most overrated reality TV trope? Oh, easy. The manufactured group trip.
Oh, like when they shove them all in a house?
Exactly. Producers rent a villa, force 12 people who secretly hate each other into a confined space, ply them with alcohol, and wait for the explosion. It's forced. It's overly produced.
Yeah, you can tell they plan the fights before they even pack their bags.
The psychology is boring because it's inorganic. I don't want a produced fight over a bedroom assignment. I want real, foundational, decades-in-the-making family dysfunction. That's where the real behavioral patterns live.
Yes. Preach. Okay, question 4 for me. What is your biggest irrational fear?
Oh, I want to hear this.
Babes, being trapped in an escape room with someone who insists on taking the lead, completely ignores all my suggestions, and is confidently entirely wrong.
Wow.
I would literally start chewing through the drywall to escape them, not the room.
That's highly specific, and honestly, a great metaphor for exactly the family dynamic we're about to unpack. You just described the Plath family.
Oh my God, wait, you're right.
Barry is the guy confidently shouting wrong instructions. Kim is ignoring the actual clues to focus on her own reflection in the two-way mirror. And the kids are just desperately trying to chew through the drywall to get out.
Oh my God, you just blew my mind. That is exactly what it is. Okay, what is your 4th question?
If you had to swap lives with one TLC reality star for a day, who would it be?
Honestly, I'd swap with Zach.
Zach. Oh, I love that for you.
Just to experience the sheer unfiltered audacity of sitting in a room while your father-in-law and his ex-wife discuss their dating lives and having the absolute power to just sit there, say nothing, and quietly judge them both.
He is an icon. He is the Greek chorus of that family. We love Zach in this house.
It's a position of immense observational power. Okay, what's your final question?
My final question. What is the wildest thing you've ever cried over?
Oh, spill it.
Last week, I cried because my Uber Eats driver dropped my pad thai on my porch and the container broke and the noodles touched the concrete.
Tragic, honestly. Yeah. But I didn't just tear up. I sat on my porch, staring at the concrete noodles, and wept for 10 solid minutes.
The grief was profound.
That wasn't about the noodles.
It felt like it was about the noodles.
No, that was the combination of weekly stress finding an acceptable outlet. It's emotional displacement. You couldn't cry about the systemic pressures of your week, so you wept for the pad thai.
Okay, Dr. Freud, what is your last question?
Which leads perfectly into my final question. And this is the pivot. The question is, what is a psychological term that gets misused the most on the internet?
Oh, I know exactly where you're going with this.
The answer is narcissist. Everyone throws it around on TikTok. My boyfriend didn't text me back. He's a narcissist. No, he's just an avoidant jerk.
Right. People use it for everything now.
But when you see a real one, a clinical textbook case of narcissistic personality disorder, or someone with deeply entrenched narcissistic traits, you know.
We need to talk about something, because I know you have a question about this.
I do. Do narcissists know they're narcissists? Oh my God, the chill that just went down my spine. I literally had to take a sip of my wine to brace myself for this.
Because, babes, both of us have narcissist moms.
We really do.
And watching this TLC drama, watching these families operate, it feels like home in a chaotic, fucked up way.
It is so triggering, but simultaneously, it is so deeply validating. Like, I watch someone like Kim Plath operate on my screen, and I am instantly transported back to being 16 years old.
Yep, time travel is real.
I'm standing in my childhood kitchen, completely sobbing, hyperventilating, while my mom stands there totally calm. Her heart rate hasn't spiked a single beat, and she calmly tells me that I'm overreacting.
Textbook emotional blunting on her part.
She would look me dead in the eye and tell me that an event I literally just witnessed with my own 2 eyes didn't actually happen. Yeah. The maternal gaslighting. The sheer ability to completely center themselves in your pain.
It's a masterclass in manipulation.
When you experience it, it is a physical weight on your chest.
Yeah.
You feel like you are losing your grip on reality.
And that gets right to the heart of the question. Do they know what they are doing? Let's do a real analytical breakdown of the awareness versus denial paradigm here.
Please, because I need to know if she was doing it on purpose.
Psychologically speaking, there is a concept called ego-syntonic versus ego-dystonic. If a behavior is ego-dystonic, it means it causes you distress because it conflicts with your ideal self-image.
Okay, making sense so far.
For example, if you have anxiety, you know you are anxious, you hate it, and you want it to stop. It feels alien to you.
Right, like me sending those long paragraphs. I know it's toxic, I hate that I do it, but I do it anyway.
Exactly. But narcissistic traits are almost always ego-syntonic. The behavior is in perfect harmony with how they view themselves. The delusion is not a lie they are telling you. The delusion is their primary defense mechanism.
Wait, so they actually believe their own lies?
Yes, their underlying ego is so incredibly fragile, so profoundly insecure, that acknowledging they're the villain or even just wrong in a minor scenario would literally shatter their psyche. It would trigger a narcissistic collapse. Oh my God.
So their brain protects them by rewriting reality in real time. They aren't consciously twirling a mustache and thinking, I am going to manipulate my child today. In their minds, they are constructing a reality where they are the perpetual misunderstood victim and you are the aggressor. They believe their own press.
Yes, that is exactly it. When a toxic parent plays the victim, they genuinely, in their physical body, believe they have been wronged. That's what makes arguing with them so completely impossible.
It's a losing battle.
You go into the argument fighting for objective reality. You want them to admit that X happened, but they are fighting for their emotional survival. They literally cannot admit X happened or their entire self-concept dies.
Bingo.
It's why watching this show is my absolute comfort watch, because I sit here drinking my wine and I feel seen. I point at the TV and I'm like, see? I'm not crazy. This behavior exists in the wild. I didn't make this up.
It's the exact behavior pattern we've lived. The deflection, the complete lack of accountability, the weaponization of therapy speak. We relate a little too hard to these kids.
We really do. I need a massive sip of wine before we dive into the actual footage because the delusion this week was operating at an all-time high.
Cheers to surviving our childhoods, honestly. Because we need to unpack Season 8, Episode 3, Fish or Cut Bait.
Aired April 14th, 2026. Let's get into it.
Snark Squad. I am telling you, this episode was a roller coaster of codependency, manipulation, and the absolute worst communication skills I have ever witnessed.
Let's set the stage. We have to start with the absolute mess that was Isaac and Kaylynn.
Oh, the Halloween event.
This was the ultimate fumble, and it requires a serious breakdown of avoidant attachment.
Oh my God, my skin was crawling. The secondhand embarrassment I felt watching this scene was lethal. I was physically squirming on my couch, pulling my blanket over my face.
It was physically hard to watch.
So picture this. They're at this Halloween-themed event. There are pumpkins, there are costumes, there are some of the siblings running around, and Isaac, who is 20 years old, completely out of his depth, pulls Kaylynn aside. He looks terrified.
Pale as a ghost.
And what is the very first thing he does before he even speaks?
He asks her to take off her mic.
Yes.
Now, let's be very clear about the mechanics of reality television. When a cast member on a heavily produced show asks to take off their mic, that is breaking the fourth wall. It is the ultimate screaming red flag.
It means you are up to no good.
It means I am about to say something so cowardly, so potentially damaging to my public image that I cannot bear to have the audio recorded for public consumption. It's a tell. He wanted to manipulate the narrative without a permanent record.
It is such a cowardly move. He wanted to dump her off camera so he wouldn't look like the bad guy. And then, the actual breakup. He can't even get the words out.
He's just freezing up entirely.
He is just standing there in the dark, stammering, looking at his shoes, sweating through his shirt. He is giving absolutely nothing. And Kaylynn, who is exhibiting pure icon behavior, an absolute legend.
Oh, we love Kaylynn.
She literally has to feed him his own breakup lines. She looks at this trembling boy and says, "Say it with your chest." I screamed. I threw my phone across the couch.
It was an iconic moment in reality TV history. Say it with your chest. Let's analyze what she did there. By saying that, she refused to do the emotional labor of breaking up with herself for him.
Wait, that's such a good point.
Women are so often conditioned to smooth over men's discomfort, right? If a guy is stumbling through a breakup, the woman will often say, "Are you trying to say we should break up? It's okay."
I have literally done that exact thing.
Kaylynn refused to give him that out. She forced him to take accountability in the moment and articulate his own actions. And what does he finally say? He spits out that they should break up.
And her reaction was so real. She didn't scream, she didn't cry, she was just totally blindsided. You could see the confusion wash over her face.
Because it made no sense based on their trajectory.
Right. She told her friend Kim later that she was thrown for a complete loop, that literally nobody saw it coming. Yeah. Because things were going well. They were happy.
Let's break down Isaac's weak, pathetic little excuses in his confessional. He tells the producers he broke up with her because it was moving too fast and he was too young.
Such a cop-out.
He said he felt under pressure and wanted to be free. But the real crux of his argument, he brings up the age gap. He says because she's a little older, she might want to settle down sooner than he had in mind.
Which was a complete fabrication.
Exactly. Psychologically, this is classic projection fueled by a fear of engulfment. He projected this entire fictitious timeline onto her. He got into his own head that she wanted marriage and a white picket fence in the next year or two.
But she didn't.
She explicitly states later that was not the case. She even noted that after watching his family act an absolute fool at Lydia's wedding, she wasn't even sure she wanted to get married, period. She wasn't pressuring him. The pressure was entirely internal.
He literally made up a scenario to get mad at.
But the most damning part of his excuse, the real catalyst, Mario.
Who the actual fuck is Mario?
Seriously, shout out to the Reddit snarkers who are actively demanding to meet Mario.
Bring him to the reunion.
Isaac admits in his confessional that some of the guys at work got into his head. He literally took life-altering relationship advice from a line cook named Mario.
I cannot deal with this.
Think about this. Mario was probably back there in the kitchen, flipping burgers, taking a smoke break by the grease trap, telling a 20-year-old kid, "Bro, you're young. Are you sure you want to be tied down to one girl? You got to play the field."
Ugh. The toxic masculinity is radiating off this hypothetical grease trap.
And Isaac, who possesses the foundational decision-making skills of a wet paper towel, goes, "You know what, Mario? You're right. The line cook sees the truth. I need to be free."
It is infuriating.
Yeah.
He threw away a solid, loving relationship because of locker room talk by a deep fryer.
And then the regret is instant.
Oh, immediately. He does it, he gets his freedom, and immediately he is spiraling. He says on camera that knowing what he was about to do to her haunts him. He says just a few days by himself is too much already, and it's killing him inside. He wanted the idea of freedom, but the reality of losing his secure attachment terrified him.
Yeah.
And then, babes, you will not believe what he does next.
Oh, I know. He called her parents.
He called her parents to apologize. I found this so deeply mortifying and so sad. You broke up with a grown woman, and then you call her mommy and daddy to say you're sorry. What are you, 12?
It's giving complete emotional immaturity.
Kaylynn even said it completely confused her family. They were like, why is this boy calling us? He realizes he messed up. He wants to rebuild. He wants a second chance. He's telling the cameras he's willing to go to the ends of the earth to get her back.
But Kaylynn's response, boss level, give it to us.
She looked right at the situation and said, trust isn't just given, it's something that you have to earn with your actions. She completely clocked him. She set a massive, unmovable boundary.
Beautifully executed. But let's analyze the why behind Isaac's behavior. Why is he so easily swayed by Mario? Why does he run at the first sign of intimacy?
It has to be the family trauma.
We have to look at the family trauma angle. Isaac isn't just listening to a line cook. He's reacting to a deep-seated cellular fear of commitment installed by his family of origin.
I mean, look at his parents.
His parents, Kim and Barry, just went through this incredibly messy public divorce after 24 years of projecting the perfect Christian marriage. On top of that, his older brother Micah is currently imploding his entire life with Veronica Peters amid repeated cheating allegations.
So messy.
Isaac is completely surrounded by catastrophic relationship failure.
I know. And honestly, I feel a tiny, microscopic bit of empathy for him. Just a sliver.
A sliver.
Yes, because he is a farm boy raised in a fractured, hyper-conservative, emotionally stunted family where literally nobody knows how to process complex emotions. He steps out into the real world, he gets a taste of real intimacy with Kaylynn, and his nervous system completely short-circuits.
Okay, I see where you're going.
He is terrified of becoming his parents,
Yeah.
so he self-sabotages before she can hurt him.
No, I'm stopping you right there. I'm shutting that empathy down.
Wait, really? You don't feel bad for the trauma response?
I acknowledge the trauma, but I do not accept it as an excuse in this specific instance. Millions of people have divorced parents. Millions of people have messy siblings.
True.
They do not all dump their incredibly supportive, mature girlfriends in a dark field because a coworker named Mario told them they were missing out on being single. Isaac is a grown adult.
Okay, that's fair.
He fumbled a good thing because he's weak, he lacks an internal locus of control, and he is easily influenced by toxic masculinity, period. Trauma explains the anxiety, but it doesn't excuse the cowardice.
Okay. That is a harsh reality check, but you're right. He lacked agency, he did fumble it, and Kaylynn is better off. Speaking of fumbling human connection, can we please move on to the hair salon therapy session from hell?
Yes. We have to unpack this. The scene where Lydia is cutting Kim's hair.
Oh my God, my blood pressure.
And before we even get into the dialogue, I need to shout out the Reddit user who pointed out that Lydia deserves a Nobel Peace Prize for not giving Kim a bowl cut. The restraint that girl showed while holding incredibly sharp scissors to the back of that woman's head. God-tier emotional regulation.
I swear to God, I was watching the screen, I saw Lydia take a section of hair, give it a tiny little tug, and I just imagined how deeply satisfying it would be to just yank.
It would have been justified.
Because the conversation they were having was absolutely infuriating. They're sitting there discussing the tension stemming from the divorce. And Lydia, sweet, perfect, unproblematic Lydia, who we do not shade in this house.
Never. We protect Lydia.
She looks at her mother and tells her that talking to her back during the divorce felt like talking to a brick wall.
Which is a perfectly accurate clinical metaphor for dealing with a narcissist. A brick wall doesn't absorb information. It just bounces it back at you.
It was such a brave thing for Lydia to say.
Now let's watch Kim's reaction, because this is textbook Darvo. Deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. Does Kim validate Lydia's feelings? Does she pause, look at her child, and apologize for shutting her out during a massive, traumatic family upheaval?
No, of course not. Kim plays the victim.
Naturally.
She immediately flips the script. She says, well, I felt that you were judging me and not accepting where I was in life. She completely centers her own adult discomfort over her teenage daughter's genuine developmental pain. It is sickening.
Exactly. It's a psychological mechanism called the narcissistic mirror.
Ooh, what is that?
Narcissistic parents do not see their children as autonomous human beings with their own internal emotional landscapes. They view their children merely as extensions of themselves, like mirrors.
Oh, wow, that is so grim.
If Lydia comes to Kim and says, "I'm hurting because of your actions," Kim does not hear a child in pain. Kim sees a mirror reflecting a negative image of herself. And because Kim's ego cannot tolerate a negative self-image, she must attack the mirror.
She has to smash it.
Yes. She accuses Lydia of being judgmental to neutralize the threat to her own ego.
It makes me so incredibly angry. I am fiercely defending Lydia here. Think about what Lydia went through. She was practically a child. She had to watch her fundamentalist reality shatter, her family get torn apart.
Her entire worldview collapsed.
And she had to step up and physically and emotionally parent her younger siblings while Kim was off finding herself or whatever midlife crisis nonsense she was doing.
That is the definition of parentification. Specifically, Lydia suffered from both instrumental parentification, doing the physical chores, cooking, cleaning, and emotional parentification, acting as the emotional anchor for the family.
Yes. And yet, despite all of that trauma, Lydia handles this salon conversation with such massive, unearned grace. She admits to Kim that she was hurt, but she looks at her mom and literally says, "You had to do what you had to do."
She validates Kim.
The child is offering emotional validation to the adult parent. It is completely backwards.
It's tragic because Lydia has learned that the only way to maintain a relationship with her mother is to completely suppress her own needs and cater to Kim's emotional fragility.
It breaks my heart.
And then, the absolute kicker of the scene. Lydia gives her blessing for Kim to be with Ken. She tells Kim that she sees they are in a healthy place, and she gives her approval.
Oh my God, do not even get me started on Ken. I have to unleash on Ken.
Unleash.
Snark Squad, if you are not active on the Reddit threads, you are missing out on some of the finest literature of our generation. A user named Lil Poobles, shout out to you, Lil Poobles, called Ken a racist gargoyle.
I saw that.
And I have never heard a more accurate physical and spiritual description of a human being in my entire life.
We have to frame this carefully, but yes, the internet has dubbed him a gargoyle. And commenters on Reddit have been absolutely ruthless, pointing out his controversial digital footprint and problematic past. We are just reporting the cultural consensus here.
Of course, just passing along the message.
But beyond the internet's valid critique of his character, let's discuss the absolute lack of physical chemistry between Kim and Ken. It is palpable through the screen. It is anti-chemistry. It absorbs light.
It's like watching two magnets repel each other.
We have Kim constantly complaining about her weight on the show, and we know from past previews that Ken isn't exactly thrilled or attracted to it either.
Ugh, it's so toxic.
The Reddit threads were dragging them, basically saying they would rather watch Barry attempt to date than watch Kim and Ken's total lack of attraction any day of the week.
I physically gag when Ken is on screen. Racist gargoyle. I'm getting it embroidered on a throw pillow. But speaking of Barry dating, oh my God, the dating summit. We have to pivot to this fever dream of a scene.
Let's set this deeply surreal scene for the listener. Barry Plath, a man who was married for 24 years, who enforced a rigid, patriarchal, fundamentalist structure over his entire family, is now divorced.
And unhinged.
And he decides he wants to enter the modern dating scene. So what does he do? He sits down with his son-in-law, Zach, to ask for dating advice.
Which is so weird.
First of all, asking your 20-something son-in-law for dating advice when you were a 50-something ex-fundamentalist is already objectively weird. It blurs generational boundaries. But then, who materializes out of thin air?
Oh, the ex-wife. She just pops into the picture like an absolute demon and starts giving him dating advice.
The audacity.
Barry literally looks straight down the barrel of the producer's camera and calls it an episode of The Twilight Zone. And he's not wrong. It is completely deranged behavior.
It is peak narcissism from Kim. Let's look at the psychology of why she intruded. She cannot stand not being the center of attention. Even in a conversation explicitly about her ex-husband moving on and finding a new partner, she has to insert herself to maintain a sense of control over his narrative.
She wants to be the casting director for his love life.
She wants to be the authority on who he dates. But the true star of this scene, the absolute king of the show right now, the man who deserves an Emmy for restraint, is Zach.
Zach is an icon. We are absolutely not shading Zach in this household. He's a beacon of light.
Never. We have to read his exact quote from his confessional because it is a masterclass in subtle, devastating, analytical shade.
Read it, please.
Zach looks at the camera and says, "The ex-wife is there. She's got a boyfriend. Barry's looking to get a girlfriend. The dynamics are present, the tension. But this is not necessarily a conversation I feel like Kim needs to be a part of. It's an interesting dynamic of someone who wants to know it all and someone who maybe doesn't need to know anything about it."
So at the very end, hang it in the Louvre, put it in the Smithsonian. He is so incredibly over these people. I want to raise my oversized wine glass and toast to Zach's survival in this family.
Cheers to Zach.
He is effectively a hostage, and he is coping with pure, unfiltered, deadpan sarcasm.
Zach is employing a psychological technique called gray rocking.
Wait, I've heard of this. What is it exactly?
When you are dealing with toxic, dramatic, or narcissistic people, the best defense is to become as uninteresting and unresponsive as a gray rock. You don't feed into their drama, you don't argue, you just observe and give non-committal answers.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Zach is the ultimate gray rock. He just blinks slowly while chaos swirls around him.
Yeah.
But we need to talk about Barry. Let's give credit where it's absolutely due. Barry had a physical glow-up.
He did. We have to admit it.
He got ripped. He hit the gym hard post-divorce. He's lifting weights, and good for him. Sublimating emotional pain into physical fitness is a very common, relatively healthy coping mechanism for divorced men.
Sure, but his social boundaries?
Absolutely non-existent.
The boundaries do not exist. The Reddit snarkers caught this immediately, and I was screaming at my TV. Barry is hanging out at Kaylynn's workplace.
Just loitering.
He is just chilling there, shooting the breeze with her boss, Taylor. Let me ask you a question. Why is a 50-something-year-old divorced man hanging out at his son's ex-girlfriend's place of employment?
It's highly inappropriate. It shows a complete lack of understanding of modern social norms. When you are the patriarch of a closed, authoritarian system, you are used to having total access to everyone in your sphere.
Because you control the sphere.
You own the farm, you own the rules. Now that the family structure has collapsed, Barry is floundering in the real world. He doesn't understand that you don't linger at your kid's ex's job. It's intrusive.
It's so creepy.
And honestly, the whole guys' night wingman dating talk scene was so incredibly forced. It felt like producers just shoved them all in a room to make Barry look relatable. Barry needs to get off his high horse, download Hinge, set his age parameters realistically, and figure it out like a normal divorced adult.
I would pay actual hard-earned money
Yeah.
to see Barry's Hinge profile. Just imagine it. Looking for a demure Christian woman. Interests include fitness, enforcing strict rules, avoiding secular music, and completely ignoring my children's deep emotional needs.
Terrifyingly accurate.
Yeah.
Now let's pivot from the aggressively out-of-touch father to the aggressively moping eldest son. We have to talk about Ethan.
Oh, God. Ethan, the brooding, sulking center of attention. He is just wandering around the farm, kicking dirt, moping over Tegan.
Which, by the way, Reddit was super confused about.
The timeline is so weird. Commenters were like, wait, didn't the Tegan breakup happen a while ago? Yes, it did. But he is dragging it out for maximum camera time and sympathy.
Ethan has perfected the art of the sulk. But what is truly disturbing, and what Reddit absolutely nailed, is his porn brain. Have you noticed this behavioral shift?
I physically cringe. I want to fold into myself. Every single time he opens his mouth lately, it's some incredibly crude sexual innuendo.
It's constant.
He made that third leg comment in this episode, and I wanted to crawl out of my skin and walk out the front door. It is so gross. It's like he genuinely thinks that being crude is the equivalent of being a mature adult male.
Let's unpack the why here, because it's a textbook psychological response to his upbringing. It's a massive overcompensation resulting from purity culture.
Oh, absolutely.
Ethan was raised in a sexually repressed, fundamentalist environment where bodies are shameful, sex is a taboo subject only meant for procreation within marriage, and any normal adolescent curiosity is treated as a sin.
So damaging.
So, you take a kid who never went through normal teenage sexual development, you isolate him, and then he gets married young, gets divorced, and steps into the secular world. What happens? Arrested development.
He's mentally a teenager.
His only way of relating to the concept of sexuality now is through crude locker room 13-year-old boy jokes.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. It's like he's going through puberty in his late 20s.
Exactly. He doesn't possess the emotional vocabulary to process his actual feelings about his failed marriage or his recent breakup with Tegan. He cannot sit down and say, I feel abandoned and insecure.
That would require actual vulnerability.
So he masks all that deep vulnerability with crude humor to seem unfazed and manly. It's a defense mechanism against grief.
It's so transparent and, honestly, profoundly sad. Speaking of sad, the moment that actually broke my heart this episode, we have to talk about the little girls, the youngest sisters.
Oh, the amazing Grace moment.
Yes, they are sitting there and they literally look at Ethan, their own flesh and blood older brother, and ask him if he knows Amazing Grace.
Now, contextually, they likely meant knowing how to play it on the guitar for them to sing along to, but still, the underlying implication is staggering.
It broke my heart into pieces because it shows how utterly and completely fragmented this family has become. Think back to season 1. Remember the family band days?
They were always together?
They were constantly playing music together. They were singing gospel songs on stage in matching outfits. Music was their entire shared language. And now the youngest kids are so disconnected, so isolated from their older brother that they don't even know what songs he knows.
The distance between them isn't just physical. It is a gaping emotional chasm. They are practically strangers.
It's the ultimate proof of the family's total destruction. The foundational unity they built their entire identity and brand on is completely gone.
And while we're on the topic of destruction and broken foundations, we just have to briefly touch on the Micah and Veronica implosion.
The headlines this week have been absolutely wild. The tabloids are blowing up. Micah is publicly admitting his struggles amid the family rift, and Veronica is out here accusing him of repeated serial cheating.
I am going to feign absolute clutching my pearls shock here.
Please do.
You mean to tell me that a Plath boy who was raised with zero understanding of healthy relationship dynamics, who possesses zero emotional intelligence, who has never seen conflict resolution modeled in his entire life, doesn't know how to handle the pressures of a serious adult relationship, and resorts to cheating as a maladaptive coping mechanism to escape the pressure of intimacy? I am stunned. I'm completely blindsided.
The sarcasm is dripping off you right now. The boys in this family are a literal menace to society right now. They were just out in the secular world, leaving a trail of broken hearts, confused women, and unresolved trauma in their wake.
Which perfectly sets up our first segment. Let's transition into the analysis. Segment 1, parent or problem. Let's be honest. When you look at the smoking crater that is this family who is causing the most damage, we have to call it OUT.
I am going first, and I am not holding back. I am pointing the finger directly, emotionally, and aggressively at Kim.
Okay, let's hear the case against Kim.
She is the root of the current rot in this family. Her narcissism is completely unchecked. She blew up her family's entire life to find herself, which apparently just meant abandoning her moral high ground to move in with a guy the internet calls a racist gargoyle.
Good points.
But worse than her hypocrisy is her utter selfishness regarding the kids. Making Lydia parent her, making Lydia emotionally validate her choices while ignoring Lydia's pain. It is a fundamental, profound betrayal of a mother's duty.
It is a massive betrayal.
She weaponizes her own victimhood so effectively that her children are constantly apologizing to her for being hurt by her actions. She's the active, ongoing problem.
I hear your anger, and I agree that the emotional manipulation from Kim is severe and ongoing. But as the analytical side of this duo, I am looking past the current symptoms and looking at the foundation. I am pointing the finger firmly at Barry.
Really?
Kim is the current chaos, yes, but Barry built the cage they are all trapped in. His foundational strictness, his patriarchal enforcement of rules over relationship, is the rot in the floorboards.
Okay, I need you to unpack that for me, because right now, Barry just seems like a weird, rigid guy who lifts weights and doesn't understand dating apps. He seems harmless compared to Kim's manipulation.
Let's bring the broader psychological discussion on authoritarian parenting, because the Reddit forums hit the nail on the head. There is a direct, undeniable correlation between ultra-strict fundamentalist parenting and the exact dysfunctions these kids are exhibiting.
I'm listening.
Authoritarian parenting, which demands blind obedience and punishes questioning, doesn't create well-behaved, well-adjusted adults. It creates sneaky kids with profound low self-esteem and a complete debilitating lack of independent decision-making skills.
Oh my God. You're describing Ethan and Isaac to a T.
Exactly. Look at Isaac. He literally cannot make a basic decision about his own romantic relationship without a line cook named Mario telling him what to do.
He has no compass.
He has no internal compass because Barry never allowed him to develop one. Look at Ethan. He is completely paralyzed by his emotions, entirely unable to navigate adult conflict because any negative emotion was likely punished or prayed away in that house.
That makes me so sad.
And what does the psychological consensus say happens to kids raised in super strict, ultra-sheltering households? They grow up, they move out, the external structure disappears, and they go absolutely buck-ass wild, engaging in severe self-destructive, rebellious behavior because they have no internal regulation.
Micah. That's Micah.
Sure.
Micah cheating, Micah spiraling, and Mariah's entire early rebellion phase.
Yes. Barry enforced rules through fear, religious intimidation, and isolation rather than teaching his children how to navigate the real world. He systematically denied them exposure to normal social dynamics.
So when they got out, they crashed.
So when they finally stepped outside the boundary of the farm, they had zero psychological tools. They imploded. Barry's rigidity created the extreme fragility we are seeing in all the boys today.
Okay, that is a devastating read. You are completely right about the foundational trauma. Barry set them up to fail. But I still stand my ground. I say Kim's current behavior is more actively damaging day to day.
Fair enough.
Barry is sort of passively clueless now. He's just lifting weights and annoying Kaylynn's boss. But Kim is actively manipulating her children with therapy speak while acting as a brick wall. So my verdict. They are both the problem, obviously. But Kim takes the crown for current active bleeding emotional damage.
We'll call it a joint enterprise of total dysfunction. Let's move to segment 2, most uncomfortable moment. You felt it, we felt it, relive it.
I cannot get over the Isaac breakup. I just can't shake it. That moment in the dark where he is stammering, sweating, and Kaylynn has to literally feed him the words to dump her. Say it with your chest.
It was painful.
The secondhand embarrassment was a physical sensation. I was sweating for him. It was the absolute pathetic peak of a boy not knowing how to be a man. It was lethal to watch.
It was incredibly rough, a total failure of communication. But for me, the analytical winner of the most uncomfortable moment, goes to the Barry, Kim, and Zach dating conversation.
Oh, God, it was so weird. It felt like a fever dream.
The sheer, unadulterated audacity of Kim interjecting herself into her ex-husband's dating life is mind-boggling. They are sitting there, the divorce is finalized, the marriage is legally dead, and she swoops in to dictate terms or offer condescending advice.
She just can't let him go?
It is such a desperate grasp for control over a man she no longer wants. And combining that with Zach, who is visibly trying to mentally project his soul out of his physical body to escape the room, the tension was thick enough to choke on. It was a masterclass in boundary violation.
Zach just blinking slowly, waiting for the sweet release of death. Okay, segment 3. Who needs therapy first? No hesitation, immediate answers. Explained, WHY.
Go ahead. Who is your pick?
Ethan. He needs it yesterday. He is drowning in his own codependency. He is moping over Tegan. He clearly hasn't processed the deep grief of his divorce, and he is masking his complete inability to process complex human emotion with these crude, disgusting sexual innuendos.
He really is struggling.
He is a walking, talking, open wound of fundamentalist repression. He needs a professional to help him unpack that porn brain before he ruins any more relationship.
Ethan needs therapy, absolutely. His arrested development is severe, but my immediate answer, the priority triage, it is Isaac.
Isaac over Ethan. Really, why? Ethan seems so much more broken.
Yes, because Isaac is at the critical developmental juncture right now. He is 20. His prefrontal cortex is still forming.
Oh, that's true.
He is making life-altering relationship decisions based entirely on the unhealed trauma of his parents' very public divorce. He is terrified of commitment because his primary model of marriage is a toxic disaster.
Oh, right.
And who is his guiding light right now? Mario, the random restaurant coworker.
Not Mario.
Isaac needs a licensed professional, a cognitive behavioral therapist, not a guy who probably smokes out by the dumpster on his break. If Isaac doesn't get therapy right now to correct these avoidant attachment patterns, he is going to repeat the exact same cycle of dysfunction as his older brothers.
He's going to end up just like them.
He is the most salvageable of the boys, but he needs intervention immediately before the concrete sets.
Wow. That actually makes so much sense. Save Isaac before he fully marinates in the toxic boy juice. Get him a therapist. Get him away from the deep fryer. Okay, final segment. Segment 4. Would you survive this family?
Be honest. Look inward.
Could you live in this dynamic? Or are you running immediately?
Let's do a reality check. We would not last 24 hours. Aggressive, total agreement on that.
Oh, completely. We would be formally expelled from the farm before the sun went down on day 1.
How would you go out?
I would literally end up screaming at Kim. I know myself. I am too emotionally reactive. If she sat me down in a salon chair after abandoning the family and tried to tell me that I was judging her while completely ignoring my feelings, I would lose my entire mind.
You'd flip the chair.
I would tell her exactly what she is. I would throw a bottle of hairspray at the two-way mirror, and I would be permanently banished. I am too emotional. My nervous system cannot handle the gaslighting. I would explode.
See, I wouldn't scream. That gives her the emotional reaction she craves. I would systematically analyze everyone to their faces.
You would destroy them with words.
I would sit Barry down, look him in the eye, and tell him his rigid, fear-based parenting destroyed his children's autonomy, and demand he delete his Hinge account until he reads a book on emotional intelligence.
Yes. Drag him.
I would tell Ethan to stop making third-leg jokes because it's embarrassing. And then I would adopt Lydia and Mariah, pack them into my car, lock the doors, and drive them to a secure safe house far, far away from Cairo, Georgia.
We would be the ultimate villains of the season. They would literally have to call the police to remove us from the property.
It would be incredible television, though. Ratings gold.
Snark Squad, as we wrap this up, this TLC obsession is so real. The wine has fully kicked in. I am feeling incredibly validated by our shared trauma, and the DMs are going to be absolute chaos this week.
The family trauma reflections always get a little too real, but that's exactly why we do this. It's the comfort zone. Analyzing other people's dysfunction is a safe, controlled way of processing our own.
Exactly. We project our healing onto them. So we want to hear from you. We have questions for the Snark Squad. Number 1, do you think narcissists know what they're doing? Do they know they are manipulating, or are they lost in the delusion? Slide into our DMs with your theories.
Number 2, which question from our Instagram Q&A was the messiest? I still vote the decoy boyfriend, but I'm biased.
And babes, why are we so addicted to family drama? Is it trauma bonding? Is it schadenfreude? Is it just making us feel better about our own messy lives? Tell us.
Remind yourselves to rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. It is the only way the algorithm knows we exist. Send in your submissions, your DMs, your messy stories.
And I command you send this to your friend with family drama. They need to know they are not alone, they need to feel seen, and they desperately need to know about Mario the Line Cook. Thank you, Snark Squad, for sitting in the cozy chaos with us tonight. We love you so much.
Stay shady,
Stay iconic.
and we'll see you on the snark side.